go on a Monday. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we are live in Los Angeles on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1 1 hour from now. Absolutely packed. Colin's right, Colin's wrong. We have a ton of both. And Joy Taylor is joining me on a Monday. We are officially now in the middle of the first week of August. There's football games being played. We're rolling now, right?
We are. It's here. It's back.
It's here. It's back. And, well, you know what I got to lead with today?
Let me guess.
So Baker Mayfield yesterday or this weekend at a Cleveland Indians game. And the camera goes on him, and Baker's a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He's there with his lovely wife and his new mustache. And they take a picture of him with a beer, and he takes a beer, and then he realizes the camera's on. He goes, throw me a beer. And he bites into it, and he rips it open. And it's very funny. And, he points to his jersey. And, of course, Cleveland loves him because it's Cleveland. This is a franchise that hasn't had any fun at quarterback for 30 years. And Baker Mayfield's a lot of fun, and he's a showman. And he was waiting for that moment because he knew they'd put him on camera, just like the underwear ads before the season started. And the Cleveland Indians had fun with it, and they went to Twitter and social media because they haven't won a World Series since, like, ever. And they're making fun of me, and they knew I would overreact to it. But I'm not going to overreact to it because, Colin, what's your reaction to this? Baker Mayfield is perfect for Cleveland. This is an organization where Peyton Hillis, a fullback, was a really big deal. They don't celebrate championships. They don't celebrate division titles. Right now, they just want to celebrate, we got a new quarterback, and he wants to be one of us. And we would shotgun beers because it's Cleveland. And he's perfect for Cleveland. Because everybody that's famous in Cleveland and gets really good leaves. LeBron twice. The Rockefellers, Drew Carey, Joe Walsh of the Eagles. Hell, the Browns left. Manny Ramirez, CeCe Sabathia. Of course Cleveland's putting their arms around him. Yes. Now, if I was Baker Mayfield, 1-5 against winning teams with a rookie head coach who's never even been hired as a coordinator. If you take 2 games out of Baker last year against the atrocious Bengals, where he had 7 touchdowns and no picks, his numbers were really, really average. Even for a rookie quarterback, they were pretty average. But be that as it may, this morning, Cleveland and Baker feel like the NFL's best frat house. Best parties, best beer chuggers, a lot of alpha, the funniest guys. Of course, like the Browns, the plumbing hasn't worked at that frat house in 28 years. And I'd never, ever want to live in a frat house. But the best time for a frat house, you guys know what it is. Now, I'm not going to speak for women in sororities, but the best time for a frat house is rush week. September. No big midterms yet. No big finals net. The front door is still on its hinges. They're throwing the best parties. The weather is perfect. Everybody still qualified for school. Nobody's been thrown out yet. It's rush week at the NFL's best frat house. Of course, the frat house is not where you want to be during finals week, otherwise known as January in the NFL. That's when the Steelers flourish and the Patriots flourish and the Eagles flourish and guys like Belichick and Andy Reid and Sean McVay flourish. No. You don't want to be the best frat house during finals week. And that's what matters in the NFL, not September. But I will say, Delta Baker is a hell of a frat house here in rush week. But have you ever watched those movies with frat houses? Think about all the great frat house movies you've watched. You ever notice what they're always about? The frat guys, due to bad behavior, trying to keep the house. The school wants to take it back. The local municipalities want to take it back. So congratulations. I thought Baker looked like he was a little too good at that beer chugging. Little too good for my franchise quarterback. 1-5 against winning teams. But it's Cleveland. Stars leave. He's showing he loves you. He's part of you. I'm one of you. I'm wearing your jersey. I drink beer like you. I chug like you. You're mine. I'm yours. And, of course, it's Cleveland. Of course, that has massive impact and feels so wonderful. And right now, they are the coolest frat on campus. which is the best place to be during rush week, September. Nobody's flunked out yet. I'll take the Steelers, Patriots, Chiefs, Colts, Eagles, and Rams during finals week. Let me shift to this. So, Dallas Cowboys, Zeke is still holding out. Zeke is running back Ezekiel Elliott. He's a very, very good player. And I will say this about Zeke. He's been a headache off the field, a circus since he arrived, day one. But Jerry Jones has a high level of tolerance for dysfunction. And there are certain jobs where that's really important. If you were managing a rock band in the 70s and 80s and 90s specifically, a high level of tolerance for dysfunction would be a very valuable asset. Ever watch those shows, VH1 Behind the Music? And you'd watch that and think, oh, my God, somebody had to manage this train wreck? Ugh. But there's a guy out there or a woman out there that managed rock bands, and they had a high level of tolerance for dysfunction. I would say camp counselors, people who run daycare centers, no explanation needed, high level of tolerance for dysfunction. Jerry Jones, an owner of a football team, has a high level of tolerance. He talked about the holdouts. He's been through dozens of them, and listened to his calm demeanor.
You just know that, like so many things, it'll happen. It'll happen. There literally is no concern on my part at all about any time frame. That'll happen. The results are too good for them and too good for the Cowboys. Think about it a minute. The results are too good for them and too good for the Cowboys. That always happens when it's good, that good for both of them.
Take a deep breath. We're going to be okay. He's good. I've got tolerance. I've been through a lot. It's good for our business, good for his business. We'll get it done. But I want to add some context here. It is of my opinion, and perhaps my opinion only, that Dak Prescott, like a lot of young people, men and women in life, was a bit of a late bloomer and improved a lot at the end of last year. 7-1 in his last 8 games. It is also of my opinion that his numbers improved more with Amari Cooper than Zeke. It is of my opinion that there is a belief in America that Dak needs Zeke. And my opinion is Dak actually matches better with Amari Cooper. In fact, I've been putting up this graph, sorry radio audience, for about 2 weeks. This is Dak before and after the Amari Cooper trade. So before they landed Amari Cooper, Dak was 3-4 after 7-2. He completed 62 before Amari Cooper, 71 after. 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions before Amari Cooper, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions after Amari Cooper. But you know what's funny about that graph, Joy? You know what's really, really funny about that graph? The before column, Zeke was with Dak, and he was just okay. You keep lecturing me on Dak needs Zeke. Well, I've got the numbers last year when he had Zeke and didn't have Amari, and they were a below 500 team. So why would that be? Why do we believe this? There's an old saying, and I've used it a couple of times, you're looking through the wrong end of the telescope here. Because really horrible things leave an imprint. You can remember the fight you got in with your sister, dad, mom as a kid. 8 years old. You're 35. You still remember it. I'm 55. I can remember crying getting off a school bus, kids making fun of me. I was like 7. I'm now mid-50s. The bad moments in your life, breaking an arm, falling off a stool, a fight, getting cut from a high school team, getting an F in high school. Those bad memories resonate, last forever. They never go away. I was just hiking this weekend with a buddy. We're talking about, isn't it random, the things that stick in your mind as a child? It's like, yeah, it's always like the scariest moment, the saddest moment, the most hurtful moment, the most terrifying moment. The good stuff, you don't remember all that. But the bad stuff, you remember. So a couple of years ago, Zeke was suspended. And Dak, the first 3 games, without Zeke. Oh, my Lord. They were terrible. Dak was terrible. But you're not remembering it quite right. Like those baseball players who looked at Congress and said, you're misremembering it. You're misremembering those games. Dak then stabilized and went 3-0 in the next three without Zeke. They scored 38, 30, 20. Yes, they averaged 30 points a game for 3 straight games without Zeke. And just Dak. And no Amari either. By the way, Zeke came back. They lost. And for the record, Dak is way better today than 2 years ago. Amari is who he needs. I've got the numbers. You've got them. I love that Jerry Jones has tolerance. I love it for all this dysfunction. But this idea that Dak can't flourish, Dak can't win. It should be noted that when Zeke was gone for a suspension, they were also missing a left tackle, Tyron Smith, who at the time was perceived, and probably rightly so, as the best left tackle in football. I'll say it again. It is of my opinion, Dak is getting better. Dak needs Amari more than Zeke. It is of my opinion you could get a haul for Zeke. It is of my opinion he's crazy now without money. Like Antonio Brown, there are certain guys that get money and kind of change, and it does worry me with Zeke and not Dak and not Amari. Again, start looking at the personalities. Start looking at the data. Start looking through the right end of the telescope. I'll say it again. Congrats on having an owner in Dallas who is tolerant of dysfunction. But I think Dak's better, and Dak needs Amari more than the narrative that he is completely beholden to Ezekiel Elliott. All right, great stuff today. We are absolutely packed. You know, I take in August, occasionally I take a Friday off, hang out with the fam, had a great time, did some hiking, did some jet skiing, did that kind of stuff, fun nonsense in the summer. I was gone Friday when a friend of LeBron James, my perception was they were friends, unloaded. David Griffin unloaded on LeBron James. That coming up. All right, it's summer, and, Labor Day's a month away, so we got 4 weeks. By the way, Joy, if you've been to an airport recently, they are packed.
Yes, very busy.
The economy's got to be pretty good because the airports in this country are jammed. That means luggage time. That means away luggage. I got the aluminum carry-on. Best bag I've ever had, ever owned. Every suitcase has a hidden removable laundry bag, separates dirty and clean. It's got a TSA-approved lock, keeps everything safe. 4 spinner wheels, quiet in the airport. Carry-on, perfectly sized, fits in the overhead storage. Plus, you can order their carry-ons with a removable TSA-approved battery, so you're never dealing with a dead phone at the airport, so I love about it. Designs are awesome, too. Special offer. Go to awaytravel.com/Colin, awaytravel.com/Colin, and get $20 off when you enter the promo code Colin at checkout. Try it for 100 days. Don't love it? Return it. No questions asked. Best I've ever had. Away luggage. awaytravel.com/Colin.